I'd walk down here with my mother. The big lumber company building was there, and the city was company. That was the office too.
Probably. But the police department was in the front. We have pictures of the police department.
Mm-hmm.
And so the city was along the side. That's why we never see the city.
But it had an awning out over the sidewalk.
The flame was the front store?
Yes.
Do you remember which one?
No. But it had an awning or a thing out over the sidewalk. And that was one of the reasons I walked on this side of the street. Because on a hot day, it was in the shade.
Was this wood sidewalks?
Yes. This was built way later. There was a beauty operator in here, and I think there was an optometrist in here. And later moved up there. He was, yeah, he was in here when it was first built.
Okay, this was built so the clock tower.
Lambert, I think, was his name.
Clock tower building business was.
And Lambert was an ophthalmologist or a eye doctor?
An oculist. And he got in trouble with molesting a girl while he had her in the...
Oh.
Lambert seems to be coming to my mind, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
His first name was Frank.
First name?
Frank. Frank Lambert, I think.
And what about who was Steve?
He was.
Said Steve?
No.
Okay. Frank Lambert. Okay.
Yeah, Lambert may be wrong.
Frank Lambert. Okay.
Signal Oil gas station.
Yeah, Simpson Oldsmobile was in there too.
Oh, is a dealership all at the same time, or?
Simpson was the dealer, yeah, and gas station.
And gas station. About what years was that?
All during the war.
Okay.
He crashed in an airplane up over the Cascade Mountains, and it was years before they found the plane.
Huh.
I think when they built that building, they used the same footprint.
This whole building right here.
Yeah, so the basement theoretically is one of the oldest buildings in town.
Huh.
So long ago, I don't remember.
What was that, hon?
The flame was right
The flame
here.
was here.
But this
There
was a feed
19.
store.
It was a feed store first.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll move that up.
Old building, we're not too sure what was originally in here. This was an empty lot.
Store for a long time.
The one,
Espresso?
Mm-hmm.
Cafe Ladro?
Mm-hmm. And the next one over, there was, I think it occupied two of them. That was a grocery store.
No.
oh really?
Mm-hmm.
Who ran that, do you know? Or?
I think it might have been like Goodell's or something like that.
Huh.
But Goodell's might have been a place in Seattle I'm thinking about, but it was a grocery store.
Probably the one with the little double peak roof line.
Yeah,
Okay, where was the grocery store?
where it
that?
says Greek Grill.
And maybe Santori's.
Central Tavern was here?
Know where it was, but the sign said Central Tavern.
And that was hanging right up in here?
Now it was painted on the side of the building.
Oh. And where was Central Tavern then?
Well, it might have been in there, but I don't think so.
Okay.
Well, it might have been.
On which building was it painted?
This one.
That one right here.
There wasn't anything
The
here.
Kirkland Lake building. Okay, at 5008.
In fact, I still have some pictures of that. Music store there.
Oh, there, yeah. Music store.
We've talked a lot about the movie theater and which direction the seats ran and
Well,
all
you
of
can
that.
see in the back where the movie theater was. There was the auditorium going along the back edge. The screen was down at this end.
Also, like that wall up on top, you mean, in behind this
You see
wall?
behind the building?
Yeah.
That was the theater.
Oh, it was all the way back there
It
then.
went all the way to the back, except during the war, they added another maybe 20 feet to the back of the building and made
Oh.
it bigger.
So it's actually behind these.
Yeah.
Oh, did you know that, hon?
No.
No.
Well, yeah, kind of. Tell you why in a minute.
And the entrance, of course, was there. The one right next to it,
Where was the entrance?
right there,
At the
that's always the same there. Where it
the
says
highest
sold.
building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you had to walk quite a ways back inside before.
You walked in,
There's
and
a
then
lobby. Was that the front part was the lobby?
lobby, and then you walked in a little ways and then down the aisles. And when they added on during the war, they couldn't get matching seats, so about 8 or 9 rows of seats in the front were different. And I argued with those two ladies about Screeno at the meeting.
Yeah.
And when I went there, Mel Sones did pick the numbers with the thing.
dial.
It didn't work very good. Probably later on he had them pick the numbers.
Oh, probably like I did.
Yeah. But when
Okay.
I went there, my memory was
Yeah.
he
well,
did
you
it
would
with
know. I would like you to sketch it, how it works. Just make a primitive sketch, so we know, because you know there's no sign, there's no pictures of it. Even the heirs of the inventor don't have anything.
well,
They have
I
nothing.
don't know any more about it than you do.
Well, I mean, but how the bulb went, how big it was in your hand, and all
Well,
that.
it was a squeeze bulb,
yeah,
like
and how so if you can just
a darning egg.
just sketch a picture. I want a picture.
Tradewell was here.
Tradewell?
Oh, just a second.
Really? Yeah, I'm too close to get much of anything for pictures. So then they moved.
The post office was here too.
That post office was all over the place, wasn't it?
4 places that I know of.
Where was
The post office was in this section for quite a while.
He said this, I guess this whole building was Tradewell.
111 Central was Tradewell. Okay, we have pictures of Tradewell that I haven't been able to identify because I can't figure out where that was.
Right here.
So it's here. Oh, and the post office was where?
And I don't know how the post office coordinated with the Tradewell, but the post office was right here for a while. After it moved from Hector's building, it moved here.
Okay.
I think. There might have been one other place before it came here. It's hard to remember.
Okay, in the database, it does talk about it moving all over the place, where they're going to put it
Well, it was here. And this end spot was Smith's Bakery.
Oh, this is where Schmidt's was?
And it had a soda fountain restaurant. You could buy hamburgers, have sodas. There were some booths over here
Right on this corner.
on this side. Inside, the door went in this way.
Okay.
And the bakery was way in the back.
Huh.
But they had the counter out here with baked goods. But I think most of their business was for the high school kids.
Was there office buildings up above, or is that?
I have no idea.
That kind of looks like it's been added on. You know?
I think it has been.
When he said it, I really like it. I don't know if he's just saying that because he misses me.
And that would have been all the way from before they lowered the lake and.
Oh no! Before they lowered the lake, that was water.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
But there was a road down on the side of the building. Halfway down, there was a little going into the basement of the building. For years, there was a little sign that said Defense School. The shipyards ran a school down there that taught welding.
What was it called?
Defense School.
Oh,
And that was on this side
That
over
was
here?
on this side of the building at the basement. Oh, probably about where those steps are there, but they went down.
Oh, really? Okay.
That whole deck thing wasn't there.
okay. Where was the defense school?
Where those red steps are, except they went down instead of up.
So that was in the basement of Schmidt's. Well, it's open, I
The
think.
school district also rented the basement, and they had their metal shop, auto shop down there.
We have pictures of that. And that was in the basement of Schmidt's, which helped Schmidt's because the kids
Well,
would come
probably
and eat there.
probably under the trade well too.
Yeah. Okay. Hopefully they have umbrellas so
This used to have that real cheap siding on it that looked like tar paper that looked like bricks.
I know what that was.
Yeah.
We had a lot of that in Montana.
That's siding.
Yeah.
Right here, there was a little tiny,
Uh-huh.
a little almost like a big closet.
Yeah.
There was an old lady that sat there and sold gum and
Oh, you mentioned her
and
before.
little pieces of candy.
Yeah. And you just don't know how you could have made a business.
Yeah, well, she was always there.
Yeah.
It was just a little corner. The rest of the building was a feed store.
Oh, whose feed store was this?
I don't remember which ones they were.
Huh. You mean all the way up to the...
Oh, all the way to this white thing here.
Oh,
I'm really interested in this lady.
Well, I don't know who it was.
She'll show up. We'll find her.
She was, like a little spider in the middle of her web, just waiting for somebody to come in. And gosh, her sales were probably only a penny.
yeah.
Sold gum, and so it wasn't that big. It was like how many feet by how many feet?
Oh, it didn't go back very far, and it only went over to about here.
So basically, you're
I don't think that's 10 feet back. It might have.
that this way.
Just this little corner.
Well, you're out
No.
2 weeks at the end of the
Another one.
You like gas.
Okay, that's 124.
Gas stations for horses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over there by the theater, you see those doors on the side of the bricks there?
Yeah.
Those were the exit doors for the theater.
my gosh.
When the movie got out, you came out those doors rather than out through the front.
Oh. Oh. The brick. Okay, get good pictures. I want pictures.
I'm gonna have to change batteries.
Yeah.
One of those doors faced down each one of the aisles in the theater.
Oh, so the aisles is right between the doors then.
Well, no, right where the doors were.
Your little baby is so
One. How many doors were there?
Well, there were at
There's
least
one
two.
Those two.
Right here.
I didn't even notice.
This was the Cozy Cafe.
Oh, Cozy Cafe. Okay.
They have a lunch counter, or
It was a little kind of a U-shaped counter, and the woman worked in between it,
okay.
and there wasn't much room in there. And they made good hamburgers. That building was there, but the lower part was open halfway back. And that was a gas station. And the concrete part was covered with sort of like a rubber mat.
So the face, the tops are the same.
The
right?
top was there, yeah.
And it was open in the back.
No, it was open down below, about halfway back, and then it was
Oh, okay.
Because it was a
closed.
gas station.
gas
When
station.
they drive
And
in.
then there was a hole, and you went into that other two parts. That was a car dealer back there. You need to ask Pontiac, I believe. You need to ask Lee Peterson about that, because his dad worked in there. The next building that says Design Within Reach, that was Bryant's Hardware. And the black building was Shore and Williams paint. They had that globe with the paint dripping over it to cover the earth. That's the black building.
Okay.
Where?
Design Within Reach.
It was a theater before Brian.
Before Bryant, and he never repainted the wall. It had big flowers.
I had heard of a second theater in town, so that must have been it then.
Earlier on.
Yeah,
I don't
right.
know when this one was built.
On the
And a fellow named Jang had a restaurant in that Quonset hut.
Okay, and we have aerial views of that. And you
But
could walk
I don't
up.
remember if the brown building was there or not.
But we have aerial views. They'll show whether it is or not. We'll have to show you those.
This was Needham Electric. Needham, N-E-D-H-A-M, I believe.
Needham Electric.
And even in those days, he had two entrances.
This one and that one.
Well, it's the same building. And the Cozy Cafe was at the end of the building. Store, or was this part of Needham's? I don't
I think
remember.
this is part of Edith's. I think.
The bottom is different.
That's small. See, was it would it have been that small?
See, no, this is old stucco here, and this isn't. So this may have been the apparel store.
Okay.
Darris, D-A-R-I-S, Darris Apparel. Wires and little clips coming down. We'll see when they're here.
I used to have one of those.
And the big thing is that they make it in Utah, and the Mormons don't drink it. And the Mormons love
What'd you
it.
say?
It's not made by Mormons.
What'd you say, Frank?
The Dinner Bell Cafe.
Okay. That's right. Okay.
You probably have some stuff about that.
Yeah, it was a Chinese restaurant right in here too. On some of the pictures we had.
That I don't.
Yeah, the tech one, okay, have a
You
great
want to
day.
have a wine taste?
No, I don't think so. No.
You guys know. You guys want to try some on your beef? This is acai berry. Yeah.
Right here, this is Madeline Amazon signs that said 7
No,
Up?
I never been in here.
Yeah?
It said.
You have it?
No,
It said what?
it said 7 Up.
7 Up right here.
So, every time when I walk to school on the way home from school, I go like that on the sign.
No alcohol. It's got phytonutrients, antioxidants, and plant-derived agricultural.
Now we're getting close to where we were talking about that Ford dealership.
Well, that would have been there. There was a Flying A there, the Ford, and then later the Ford was the standard gas station.
That's why I'm trying to get Ann on motivation.
Yeah, they said, yeah, the Ford was across from Penny's,
Yeah,
pretty much.
Penny's was.
Okay.
I was trying to figure out when the Ford was gone and when the when the standard gas station was put in. And I couldn't have imagined that the gas station would have been built during the war when you couldn't buy gasoline.
Yeah, probably not.
So, in looking through, when I was looking for those pictures this morning, I found a picture of the standard from the back side, and it says September 1941.
So, yeah.
Would you like some dim sum?
No,
We open until 4 dim sum today.
Thank you.
Summer schedule.
you know, I think the dinner bell was all of this space here. I don't think Penny's was as big as this gray building.
We should know we were here.
Yeah. Yeah, we know that. Our daughter got a spanking there.
So, this half of it would have been the dime store.
Yes, Richardson's, yeah.
It was Mulligan's at first.
Mulligan's.
And
Until
then it
burned.
was, no, it was remodeled, and then Richardson took over, and then it burned.
Really? We've got that Mulligan's burnt, not Richardson's.
Well, it was remodeled,
Yeah.
and after the remodel, Mrs. Mulligan worked for him a little bit when they first opened, because they were expecting a lot of stuff in there. But she said, "Oh, I really don't want to do this." I remember talking to her there.
So Mrs. Mulligan worked for Richardson's.
Probably only for a week or so,
Richardson's for a week
maybe 2.
or two.
After the remodel. And then it burned.
After.
Had to wait to be remodeled before to burn it. Yeah.
And I think that was in 1949.
I think so.
Very, very like that was his tennis.
These were, when we were here, shoe stores and
Elwood's had their red and white grocery store here. And that was probably where this mermaid thing was.
Well, we were looking at the roof line after we interviewed Gil Kavam,
Kavam,
and
yeah.
I was thinking it was this one right here.
Kavam's would have been there. Well, then Elwood's was next to.
Because from the inside pictures, looking at the windows coming out, it kind of matched.
holy cow.
Maybe.
Where was
I'd forgotten about the band.
Elwood's, I think, that the red and white, it seems like it was on the end of a street.
Well, it would have been
Down
right
that
here. It
street.
would have been right here.
So I think it was here.
And there was a little space here someplace where you could walk down below. There was some steps open
Yeah.
between buildings. So that would occupy this much space then. Elwood, Kavam's, and the little space in between them.
Okay, so this was Kavam's here. Bikini Beach.
Yeah, and I think it had a steel penny, and he thought it was a dime, and couldn't be convinced otherwise.
Oh, well, they cheated. Okay, so this was. Now he added on. Gil Kavam added on to the back of this building at one time.
And
So our pictures that we have probably have that. And then it was open.
it was open.
And it was, that's right, because it went out. Up there, you could leave that direction.
And the Elwood's, his red and white store, all his canned goods were on this wall, and his counter was in front of it. And if you wanted something, he took it off the shelf. And on that wall, he had great big posters and a vivisection with all kinds of nasty pictures.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This right here is one of the oldest buildings in
Yeah,
town.
it looks, seven, eight. And what was that?
Is that it?
I don't remember. I should. Over there was the Starbucks. That was Underwood's. That was their clothing store.
That's where Underwood's was. Okay. That was before?
Before the building burnt down, yeah.
Yeah.
And Margaret Greenley lived in one of our apartments. And she worked there for it. But it wasn't Underwood that was running it. It was somebody else.
Well, I've never known where Underwood's was. Starbucks was Underwood. So that is 116 Lake Street. And who worked there?
Margaret Rainey. R-A-I-N-E-Y, Rainey.
We have some clothing that has Underwood stickers in it. And we have pictures of Underwood, but I never replaced it. And then
Then next to it was Gardner's insurance. Oh, excuse me. Gardner's insurance. And he also had Truck Express or something. You could send packages there. Before the days of UPS.
What was the name of that again?
Gardner. Gardner Real Estate.
Okay.
Bob Gardner.
And that would have been on the same block
That
as
was next to
Starbucks?
Underwood's. What's that? Trickwood. And then the rest of it was the drugstore.
Right, Coleman's Drugs.
Coleman, yeah. And it had a soda fountain originally.
So, we're looking at Underwood's, and then Gardner's,
Gardner Real
and then-
Estate,
and then
drugstore.
and then Coleman's.
Yeah, and I don't think
Time Cafe in the Williams building. And here on the side, there was a sign right here that said Stage to Redmond. There's a sign there, and down below is where Bob Frank lived. And he was the editor.
Safeway
No kidding. Safeway was where?
at the end of that block, and the building is still there.
Oh, which side?
That side.
That side? Okay.
Where? What is in there today?
Well, it's got a brown thing that says club.
Okay.
And that's where Safeway was?
Oh, because they were going to see the post office was going to lease the Safeway building.
I did some So that little condo wasn't